You're sitting alone at your computer, typing furiously for the past few hours, days, who can remember? Just a few more lines. You're just trying to add intelligence to your Laravel project. Maybe some text generation, tagging some content. Next thing you know, your computer is bleeding money straight into the cloud. Token after token, bill after bill, another API key, another monthly subscription. Being overcome with fear and loathing as you panic flail at the keyboard. Oops, your dev instance just burned through 5,000 tokens before you caught it. Sitting back and taking stock, you notice your workspace is trashed. You haven't cleaned in months. And then a loud high-pitched screech followed by absolute deafening silence. As you stare at your now black screen, it hits you. You forgot to pay your power bill. We've all been there, trapped in the endless cycle of cloud costs, microservices, and Docker network swarm nightmares, just to make our PHP apps a little smarter. But what if you didn't have to? Imagine running powerful AI models like sentiment analysis, text generation with Llama, or image classification directly inside your PHP app. No external APIs, no microservices, no cloud costs. That's exactly what Codewithkyrian Transformers package, also known as TransformersPHP, delivers. This open source toolkit brings the full power of Hugging Face's Transformers library straight into PHP and lets you run everything locally on your own server. At its core, TransformersPHP is crazy simple. Simple. It's a high-level pipeline function that handles everything: downloading the model, pre-processing your input, running inference, and post-processing the output. 1 or 2 lines of code and you're done. Here's a quick example for sentiment analysis. By sentiment analysis, by the way, I mean, is this a positive or negative string of text? That's a simple question to ask, but much more complicated to answer. Before having an AI toolkit to answer that, it would have been a nightmare. So let's see how we're doing that today. Now pay close attention because this is incredibly modular. You can swap in any compatible model, like a multilingual one, or a quantized version for speed, and do way more than setting a Boolean is happy. TransformersPHP supports tons of tasks. Text classification, translation, summarization, question answering, zero-shot classification, i.e. making categories from nothing, text generation, yes, even small Llama models, image to text, object detection, and more. The cool part, what's under the hood? TransformersPHP doesn't reinvent the wheel. It runs models in the ONNX format, Open Neural Network Exchange, a universal standard that works no matter if the model was originally trained in PyTorch, TensorFlow, or JAX. Inference happens through the ONNX Runtime, a blazing fast engine optimized for CPU and hardware acceleration. The PHP side connects to it using the PHP FFI extension, the foreign function interface extension that's new in PHP 8.1. This lets PHP call native C++ code from inside the ONNX Runtime directly. This keeps things lightweight and performant. Many models, by the way, are quantized by default for smaller size and faster execution. Like I mentioned earlier, you need PHP 8.1 and to have the FFI extension enabled. If that's good to go, then you're good to go. All that's left is a little composer package install like this. After that, it's all up to you what kind of model you want to load and what kind of tasks you want to accomplish. So let's get into that now before you get bored and dip. Automatic content tagging / zero-shot classification. If you're working with user-uploaded content or blogging or numerous other times where tagging comes up, this new workflow is life-changing. With this, we can instantly tag content with any categories we want without training a custom model or calling external APIs. Here's an example flow. A user writes a blog post or submits a support ticket. You run zero-shot classification with candidate labels like technology, marketing, finance. The model returns the best matching tags with confidence scores. You auto-apply the tags, route the ticket, or recommend related content. Traditional approaches required manually writing complex keyword, rule-based systems, which are brittle and incomplete, or training your own classifier. Using paid cloud APIs, which meant sending sensitive user data externally, paying per request, and adding latency plus dependency on third-party uptime. Zero-shot classification, understanding new categories on the fly, was almost impossible in pure PHP. Many Laravel tutorials now show this for auto-tagging posts. It's fast enough for background jobs and keeps everything private and offline after the first model download. One more task. Adding images to a page is about as basic as web dev tasks get. We've all done it. What we haven't all done is added the correct alt tag to that image. I think it's safe to say that more often than not, people are leaving the alt tag unfulfilled. Now, while SEO tools like Lighthouse have done a great job of stick and carroting devs into adding the tags, even getting your score dinged is often not enough incentive. Well, fear not, fellow slackers. With the wondrous power of these transformers, image alt tags are now easy peasy. Check out this simple workflow. The default model is Genova image captioning, and you're not limited to local images. You can pass a remote URL instead. For real-world use cases, I'm sure you can see where this would be killer as a query job that ran after upload, or via an API call after upload while the user is still confirming it. There are a number of ways you could get this to work in your app in a non-blocking manner, and each one is going to not only improve your SEO scores, more importantly for people that rely on alt tags to get around, it's going to vastly improve their experience using your site. A real win-win for everyone involved. There's this old XKCD comic from 240 years ago where Cueball asked Ponytail to write an app that determines if a given picture is 1, taken in a national park, and 2, a picture of a bird. For the first tasks, he says no problem, a couple hours. The second tasks, he claims, would require a team of postgraduate developers in 5 years. Capital LMAO. What simpler times they were back then in the stick figure days. Using these transformers and a friggin' Raspberry Pi, we can figure this out and we don't need more than 25 lines of code. And this is me saying that. A real pro, they could probably one-liner this shit. So look at this example where we sudo PHP script, we grab the image location, compare against a list of known locations via our PostGIS database, and then with our image to text transformer and text to category transformers, we looked at and solved the whole problem in 5 minutes, not 5 years. This is pretty freaking incredible. This is the point I'm trying to get across. With these transformers, not only do you not need a team of doctoral comp sci engineers to solve this stuff, you also no longer need a closet full of GPUs running flat out. You can answer really complex problems like, is there a bird in this photo and was it taken at a national park, with a CPU? That's incredible. All right, what else do we got? I will have a link in the description to the human.com blog where you can find links to these models and more details about how to use them. Alright, now it's time for my favorite part of the video, what else you got? Where we talk about, yes, you guessed it, what else do I have to say about this topic? This is where we do a little bit deeper of a dive now that we are all topically on the same page. So here is what else you can now easily do with these local models that a year or two would have been a spaghetti nightmare. Yes, don't be afraid. The spaghetti monster can't hurt you unless you let it. Like a vampire, you have to invite him in. So don't do that. Besides sentiment analysis, here are some of the most popular and useful pipelines you can do with this package. All of them run locally using ONNX, and I'm going to kind of run through this pretty quick just to give you an idea. I will have a link in the description to the Human blog where you can find links to these models and more details about how to use them and all that coding stuff. Here are the most useful pipelines people are running today. First, text generation. Generate new text from a starting prompt. This is very, very familiar if you have used a chatbot or any sort of chat GPT. You can use it to write blog ideas, product descriptions, stories, or even continue conversations. There's a list of recommended models, the Tiny Llama, GPT-2, or CodeGen. As you can see, it's very easy to use, and as far as getting a GPT model to run on a CPU, you can't get a better result. Next up, question answering. Give the model a piece of text, like a document or article, and ask a question. It extracts the exact answer from the text. This is perfect for building smart FAQs, document search, or chatbots that understand your own data. So also, again, very easy to use. Next up, fill mask. Predicts missing words in a sentence. Think of it as a smart autocomplete or a fill-in-the-blank for your app. Example, the new iPhone has an amazing blank and battery life. Helpful for autocomplete features, content moderation, and contextual spell checking. Next up, named entity recognition, NER, also called token classification. This extracts real-world entities from text such as the person's name, company names, locations, dates, email addresses. This is great for turning messy text into structured data, extracting content info, or improving search. And again, there's a bunch more things you can do. Check out the Hugging Face or the ONNX websites and you'll be lost in ideas. Any of the things I've mentioned, these pipelines work with just 1 or 2 lines of code and run locally. Hopefully this video has entertained you and maybe inspired you to tackle some stuff that you were thinking was going to be either really hard or really expensive. I know personally these models have definitely changed how I've approached coding certain tasks. And yeah, that's a bit. That's about all I have for you today, so thanks for leaving.